Hey guys, I'm Mai and today I have a new doll video for you. This time I'll be doing a partial repaint for Alana, one of Ariel's sisters, and the look will be inspired by the first limited edition Ariel and this other past commission. If you are new to my channel, I invite you to subscribe, ring the bell, and follow me on the social media to get notified when I upload a new video like this and other doll stuff. I hope you're ready, so now let's start. So here we have today's victim, and she's already had a complete hair reroute in black color, and now I will be transforming her into a new mermaid with a designer touch and heavier makeup. I decided to only give her a partial repaint because I think the lip color matches the one she wears in the third movie, and also the peachy blush looks really pretty on her, so I will be only focusing on the eyes and the eyebrows here. Moving on to the materials, the first one required is pure acetone. This is the brand I use and you can buy it from Sally Beauty Supply. I don't recommend using nail polish remover because even though it may have some acetone, it will take longer to remove completely, and the risk is that it can make the colors mix together and move to other places of the face while you are attempting to clean it. It's too messy, so look for pure acetone instead. You will also need some Q-tips to be more precise when doing it, since we just want to remove specific details. Be sure to wet the tip of the Q-tip just a bit because we don't want the excess to drip off to the cheeks or mouth. I'm trying to show you here that it's not very soggy. Another tip is to pressure it against the bottle to get rid of the excess, then gently remove the eyebrows and makeup. If you don't have Q-tips at home, here's another thing you can try. You will only need some cotton pads and just be very careful about not removing the blush. The way you do it is that you quickly add acetone to the pad, leave it on the eye for like probably 5 seconds or so, and then remove quickly. Another important thing is to always grab the doll in an angle so that if the acetone drops off, it falls to the forehead and not the lips. So this is how she looks after removing completely the factory paint on one side. Usually I remove both at the same time, but in today's video I will try leaving one just as a reference to see how big is the iris and kind of try to paint it about the same size. If you were wondering about the brushes, I don't use any specific brand to be honest. I just try to look for thin and sharp brushes that can easily allow me to paint on a regular doll's face. 000 is the thinnest of all of them, so I'll be using it a lot to do the sketching of the eyes. The 0 is the thickest of the set, and the 00 is still inside the package. Here are all of them together so that you can compare the sizes, and again, I'm not saying these are the best brand because obviously they're probably not, but I've ordered 2 previous sets in the past and they were very useful. But again, to me, top priority is to be functional. I also want you to see how big they are compared to the doll's face. So here you can see that they have a good size to paint the eyes details, but I'm sure there must be, better brushes out there, so I'll continue checking out to see if I can find ones that work better. However, I can't complain because at my local stores you don't get this size even when you are looking just for very small ones, and I really love this set. When it comes to the paint, I tend to mix acrylics and watercolors, but today I'll be using only acrylics. The brand for this tutorial is Polytech. You can find them very easily in Mexico, and since they are acrylics, that means they work with water. You don't have to buy this specific brand, it is just an example. Since Alana has light blue silverish eyes, I will be using different shades of blue, and also I'm thinking about mixing some pinks and violets for the eyeshadows, because if you remember, her main color is pink. I love all these colors and I think together will make her eyes pop a lot. Here's another blue color, the black, and of course white, all in matte finish. Probably I'll add some shimmer to the top eyeshadow, but we'll see later. To begin, I start adding small white layers to define the eye shape. I know, it looks really messy right now, but I promise it will look great later. The key is to use the right amount of water and paint so that when we add them, they don't create an unwanted texture. So you will have to let each one dry before adding another one. When I did this, I used a small round brush, and this is actually the longest part in my opinion, so try to be very patient and remember that less is more. Avoid thick layers of paint because this is key. It's better to take your time and end up with a flat surface. Once you finish, it should look like this. So now we will move on and start outlining the eye in brown. When you finish, you can sketch the eye using the fill color of the iris that in this case is light blue. You don't know this, but I look a lot at my reference pictures to plan where I'll be positioning the iris and the pupil. So it's very important to keep these pictures in a closed area or a computer that is located in front of you. I usually create a file, then do a collage in Photoshop or Sketch app. Once you are satisfied with the size of the circle and the shape, you can start filling with the light blue. I combine the baby blue with white and a bit of lavender to create this tone. Then outline the iris with the darker blue. The next step is to add the pupil and the lighter moon underneath it. Here's how it should look. There is also a blue eyeshadow on the top of the eye, and I created a small line there to give me an idea of where I should add the black eyeliner. But before doing so, as you know, we need to add the pink eyeshadows first. Another evident detail is that I modified a bit the shape of the eye. Compared to the left one, it looks rounder and bigger, which is totally fine because we need to leave some space for the glued eyelashes. It will continue to be modified as we go, so don't worry too much about it. To start sketching the eyebrow, I will use the black color from my watercolors palette. I decided to do this because it was easier to create the blending effect you see here, and you can do it adding small and watery layers of black, then switch to the acrylic paint. I added a Mexican pink color to the upper eyelid and created a line with purple in the middle so that now the eyelids contrast more. I'm not painting each eyelash, one by one as you see in the left eye because I only gave her a sexy cat eye look with the black, and once we glue the eyelashes, she will look amazing. But in this tutorial, I'll be covering only the repaint process, so if you want another video for that, just let me know in the comments below. I'm also thinking that I should add some shimmer to the top as we saw on the reference picture from the limited edition Ariel. But instead of gold, I'll use white, and basically that will conclude the repaint for this eye. To do the other, we will follow the same process, but the location of the iris will be different, obviously because she's looking to one side and not to the front. Guys, I definitely love how she looks with the shimmery eyeshadow. It's like bling bling, Really, I love her, and I think the lip color plus the blush combine really well with the makeup we created for her. It looks very balanced and girly at the same time. Just check it out. So cool, isn't it? Now she actually gives me mermaid vibes. We have to create the white eye again now that the factory paint was successfully removed. The iris needs to be painted on the opposite side, and then I will start filling it with blue. Remember to work on the shape of the eye as you go. I added the details inside the eye and then went up. Once it is ready, I can outline the upper wing to match the previous one. Take your time, this can require several hours, so I suggest listening to your favorite music. And here is the final result. I hope you really like her. I love the shimmer, as you know. I think she looks very similar to the limited edition Ariel doll and also the previous commission, so I'm very happy with the result, but let me know what you think, guys, in the comments below. So this is all for today's video, but if you want to see the next step in her customizing process, subscribe to my channel because I'll be uploading the final look very soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please let me know. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more doll tips. Stay safe, and I'll see you in another doll video soon. Bye bye!